Women are so fucking cool.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Women Are So Fucking Cool. It's good to be here. I took a little hiatus. It was sort of an unplanned hiatus. I had dropped the ball because sometimes we do that in getting women signed up to be on the podcast. But we're back, and I'm so excited for the upcoming episodes that are scheduled to come out. And I say this early on in my little introduction to today's episode, is I'm looking for women who'd like to be on this podcast. If you're a fucking cool woman, please reach out to me. There is a form in the show notes that you can fill out. And if you know an FCW and think they should be on this podcast, share that form with them and tell them that they're a fucking cool woman and they need to be on this podcast so that we can respect, encourage, and celebrate them. Because that's what we do with the FCW Society. We respect, encourage, and celebrate the fucking cool women that are doing the really cool shit in our communities. And today I am talking to Mary Holstein of Balance Mobile Spa here in Savannah, Georgia, and soon to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. Super fucking announcement that she shared on this podcast. Spoiler alert. But I met Mary a few years ago, and when she invited me to partake in a mobile spa party at one of her friends' house who lives on the marsh with this amazing view of the marsh. And I came there to share positive affirmations and art as a positive energy artist. Well, this Sunday, we are doing another spa day, and I am doing fucking cool women card reading. So I'm really excited to participate and collaborate with this woman, Mary, who's a fucking cool woman, because she collaborates so well. And it's so inspiring to see how she has created this mini empire of service providers, whether they are massage therapists or nail technicians or facial operators. I don't know what they're called. And now including card readers and artists and all these other skills and talents that women can share to uplift other women and make them feel good. And that's what we're here to do, right? Respect, encourage, and celebrate each other. And so these spa parties that she's been creating are in the epitome. These are FCW Society events. And that's what the whole message of this podcast is when we collaborate with each other, when women collaborate with each other and men join us, we tend to give back to the community so much more than what was there in the beginning, because we need to build off of our communities and invest in these communities, because the people make the communities, and the people who are fucking cool are really doing cool shit. I look forward to hearing from some of you. And if you want more information, again, all the information is down below in the show notes, and sign up and just keep respecting and encouraging and celebrating yourself. Right? And it's all about love. Okay, here's Mary. Well, here I am with Mary Holstein, my fucking cool woman friend. Yay. Hello, Mary.
Oh.
So we're just going to jump right in. Like I said, I like to ask all my fucking cool women a really important question. What is your definition of a fucking cool woman?
I was listening to your other podcast and what women were saying about fucking cool women. What defines a cool woman? I've met a lot of cool fucking women. Being a massage therapist, I've talked to a lot of them while massaging them, and just hearing their stories
Mhm.
of what made them who they are today is really cool. I love learning about their history and what they've experienced. I think there's, women who have courage, they're women that are go-getters, and, might have been through something where it made them a stronger person. been through like toxicity, um, and just, evolve. Women that evolve and rise above and don't let things knock them down, just keep going forward and never give up. Those are fucking cool women. That's what I think.
Yeah, you really described it. And I can see it in your eyes too, or your body movements. Because when we were talking, I was asking you about the question. I said, just think about all the women that you know and
Hmm.
describe them. And I don't know if you were doing that, but I felt you were like, oh, she does this. Oh, she's this. Oh, she went
Yeah.
through that. So
I
she's
have
this.
like a number of women just popping in my head right now, but yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that really why we are claiming to be fucking cool women so that we can know other FCWs?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
There's so many out there. I mean, I think my true inspiration in the beginning was Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball was my big inspiration because she was ballsy and she just went for it just to see if she could get a laugh, but she had a lot of courage. And she didn't start her career really until her 40s, I believe.
Mhm.
And it just makes you feel like it's never too late to just go for it.
Yeah,
I love about her.
I love her too. I've actually read her not autobiography. I read her story.
Fascinating. I mean,
She's so fascinating, and the power she took for herself, and still allowed herself, the joys of yeah. So yeah.
oh, yeah. When I have tough times, I think what Lucille Ball did, she had to run Desilu Productions at one point.
Uh-huh.
Like, and, I mean, that's a lot, and also do a show. I
Uh-huh.
mean, so I'm like, you got this.
Yeah.
You can handle this.
Yeah, you got
Really.
this. Yeah. I always thought I liked, on the complete opposite spectrum.
Yeah.
But one of the women that I was like, oh my God, she started at a later age and I love it. Phyllis Diller. Remember Phyllis Diller? He might be like a 10 years younger. But she's this
Okay.
woman who was a comedian, but she had this really big, crazy ass hair, but she was not at all gorgeous, deemed gorgeous or, a sexy. Well,
Sure, if
you'll
I
have to
saw a
look her up. But
photo.
she also started like in her 50s. And I was just like, a Phyllis Diller who is not,
Yeah.
patriarchally defined, beautiful, was able.
Oh, that's Phyllis Diller. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, I do remember her.
Okay, good. Yeah, I love. So yeah, so she, but people like I love women like both of them. All of those women who chose to take the norm of what a woman should do or could do and changes it. And that's what we're doing today for future generations of women,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. I look at, my nieces and nephews, their generation, and I've noticed one thing with them is they have a fear. They have a fear of calling people on the phone. And that is scary to me that they have this anxiety of talking to somebody on the phone. So I try to, push them out of their comfort zone because I think that's, what you have to do to be a badass woman too. You have to be pushed out of your comfort zone. Like, I have people who are like, how can I, get my business out there? I'm like, you have to go to networking events. You have to let people know who you are. It can be super uncomfortable, but fuck it. Do it. Get out there and let people know who you are. And, I used to worry about like, what is somebody gonna, think, of me? Like, they're not thinking these things. And that was one thing Lucille Ball said. Once you break that habit, it's like you freed yourself of your own prison. Like, because it's just you're overthinking something that she's like, they're not thinking of that. And that really helps you break free of that. Just be who you are. You know?
So true. So
Yeah.
true. Yeah. It's Oh, so many thoughts just came into my head. This is what
Yeah.
happens when I try.
Overthinking is just a waste of time. Just take that and like my therapist says to give them nicknames, like give that, personality thing you're thinking, like give it a nickname. So if I'm overthinking, her name's Dolores. I tell Dolores to just fuck off. I don't have time for you right now.
I
Like
love it. Yeah. Yes. Dolores, we're fucking cool. We don't think that way.
we don't overthink. No, no, no.
Oh, I think that's so true. And it really is true. We do overthink.
Yeah,
And one of the first things that when you're talking about your niece and nephew, we have to encourage interaction with each other existing, because if we don't, we
yeah.
have that fear, and there's nothing to fear from each other.
No, it's like we
Especially if
were saying,
you respect and encourage each other, then
not
yeah,
courage. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, should do it. I know. And how do you feel? How do you think? How do you feel and think that because having fucking cool women in your life has helped you or supported you? And
It kind of just evolved things, like, that's the thing with my business. It's like I work with other different businesses. So I never wanted to be competition ever. I wanted to help other businesses. We help each other out. That's just the way I am, the way I function. And so I met these amazing women. Like when I went to 24E, that's when I met Elaine. And Elaine, I love Elaine because she's just like, who are you and what do you do? And when I told her I was a massage therapist, she was like, oh my God. And then I got to know her very well. We had a lot of things in common. And then she started letting me use her space for parties, for the pop-up parties. And she loves throwing parties, but she knew all these people and introduced me to them, like, or Marion Ganem. I mean, Marion Ganem, like, I had no choice. She took my hand and I met whoever was at this party. I love these women. My girl Jamie's same way. Like, she just knows how to work a room. And I think that it inspires me because at first I get a little bit of social anxiety when I go to a big networking event, but no, they push you out of that comfort zone, and then you just meet everybody, and I think and you never know who you're going to talk to. That's what I said. You never know. You might find someone you have a connection with, or find out that they do something similar, or could be in addition to what you're doing. So that's what I think. With meeting these fucking cool women. Yeah.
right, yeah, no, it's so true. And you're seeing they're all true FCWs because
Yeah.
they are encouraging you.
Yes. Not being toxic. It took me a while to realize I didn't want to be with people who were putting me down, and drama. Like we said, we want a drama-free zone, which is why I have that hung up in my office. I don't have time for drama. I don't have time for toxicity. I want to be uplifted and not stressed. And since I got those people out of my life, it's so much easier, so much better. And I want to hang out with people who uplift me, and I uplift them.
Yeah, it's so much more enjoyable. I mean,
Oh
it's
my gosh. I was like, I should have learned. I just think, Elaine and I talked about this. Sometimes people use you sometimes for certain things, and that is a thing. And, I've had rumors spread around about me too, but you know what? You have to rise above it, and I mean, they're gonna think what they're gonna think, but I know who I am, and my friends and people who they know who I am, and that's just social gossip.
oh,
It
yeah,
is
okay.
what it is.
It's so funny what people say about people. So I always say, talk about me. I can handle it, but
Oh, it's like a
I'm not
game of
talking about me. I love
telephone
people talking about
sometimes.
me. Talking about me. I'm so fucking cool. That's why you're talking about me.
The funniest one, well, my ex-husband's spread was that because I gave him all the furniture. Is that my dad won $1 million and that he bought me all new furniture. No, I bought myself all new furniture, but even my dad said, if I won $1 million, no offense, honey, you wouldn't be my first thought of buying you all new furniture. That was my favorite rumor.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Oh my goodness. So, I want to talk to you about your business because
Yeah,
I am a believer that when we apply feminist principles to the way we operate in our business world, we have a better return on our communities around us, and everyone gets
absolutely.
uplifted. Just like you said, you want to be around people who uplift you
Yeah,
professionally and personally. So why can't we make this a more of a accepted way of working with each other.
yeah.
So tell me what your business is.
Well, in the beginning, it was it's called Balance Mobile Spa, but in the beginning, it was Balance Mobile Massage. It's where I took other massage therapists and we did like massages at hotels. We were at on-demand service, but it evolved into a mobile spa service because there's a lot of mobile companies out there, or independent contractors that are looking for business, and so now we got, facials, body treatments, nails. We have a personal chef, yoga instructor, person who does sound bowl therapy. So we helped out a lot of like Airbnbs, a lot of, parties that come here and they want everything kind of brought to them. We make life easier because sometimes you don't have time to get to a spa or they're booked. And then I think sometimes it's just nice to relax where you're at and you don't have to worry about driving afterwards. And you might undo that whole relaxation with a crazy driver, so it makes it very convenient for people, especially in the film industry too, where they're filming and we're open certain hours. And that's what also helps us too. So a lot of spas close around about 6 or 7. We're open till 9. Now we could do after hours, but it just depends on the situation.
Yes.
But that really puts people at ease. I remember when Perry Lane first opened, they were working with somebody that was providing massages. Well, they were closed, but we were open, so I was able to help them out. So just I think that puts a lot of hotels at ease where we've actually partnered with a number of hotels who don't have spas or had a spa put in there and we provide services there.
Yeah, that's great. And I love your ideas about how you're collaborating and not competition. Tell me more about that.
Well, I because there are certain companies that don't they want to just do their own thing, but I work with a number of spas too. Like we recommend them, they recommend us. If they can't do it, I've even recommended other mobile spas. There are worldwide spas. But yeah, we just all help each other out. Like, and I feel like the saying, there's enough room for everybody. Like but then, I just started going to these networking events and find out what somebody does. Like I'm going to be speaking with someone who does IV therapy treatments, B12 shots, mobile. And I was like, oh my gosh, this would be a great addition to add. And they love what I do. So yeah, that's just where we are not competition. We are helping each other.
Yeah. When do you think you got the inspiration or the idea or the like even just the feeling that this is how you wanted to operate in your professional setting?
Well, let's see. I've been a massage therapist for 22 years now.
Okay, I'm gonna add one more thing. So just
Mhm. Sure, sure, sure.
and when do you think you became like this, you realized that you're a fucking cool woman and you could decide how you wanted to create your business?
It's weird. Like there was a thing finding out about my personality that it said I'm a leader, and I feel like I've always been that way. Like if I was a part of a group, I was the leader sometimes. I couldn't help it. It was just came naturally, and I would make things happen. If I really wanted to make things happen, I would make it happen. So with being a massage therapist, I worked at spas, I worked on a cruise ship, I worked for chiropractor offices, but I loved working independently because some of these clients would say, hey, would you mind coming to my house? sometime, like to massage me there. And I started doing that. And then I started building a clientele because it was like word of mouth. And so, but I was in one news article saying that was the little hidden gem. I liked that story because we were the word of mouth. People spread around, you know, um, and they just loved that. So I felt what I was doing was evolving into that. So when I was living in Atlanta, I finally moved to Savannah in 2014, and I noticed nobody was really doing a mobile massage thing here. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm on to something. And so I started with Marianne Ganem's help. Oh my gosh. Her and Scott West helped do ribbon cutting for me. But also I started just meeting everybody and then started building my team, which we have a team of I think 24 now. And I still want to keep going. We're not only we work in Savannah, we work in Hilton Head, we work in Bluffton, and actually we got a business license to work in Vegas. Yes, we got a business license for Nevada, where we're going to start working with the conventions that are held. And that's the thing too that evolved working these conventions. This became a huge deal because a lot of businesses, they want to do employee appreciation days or give back to the people who work hard for them. And we really push that. And we booked quite a few of those, which is great. But yeah, I just decided to see where else I could go. So Nevada's my next step.
That is so exciting. Congratulations.
So I guess that's what makes me a little bit of a go-getter, but a risk taker because I rather try and fail than not and just wonder.
Yeah.
You know?
And it sounds like also you have a really good support of supporters and people that you can, lean into and
Yeah.
help you, give you,
Yeah.
advice, listening board. That's what's so important.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like I treat my team as if how I would want to be treated, and I'm a super empath too. Things happen and I'm definitely understanding, and I'm protective of my team too, because I said, if you ever feel unsafe, and I make sure I know where they're at, where they're going to massage, because that is the downfall with massage therapists. Some of these guys have an idea that we do certain things, which we do not, but I'm very protective of them and make sure they're safe. And I said, if you ever feel unsafe, I have no problem with you turning around and walking away from that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we need to, keep each other safe for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
but this thing's growing. Like with the pop-up party we're gonna have Sunday is gonna be, I think it's gonna be our best one yet.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Well, that's what's so great when you do events or anything. You just keep layering it and layering it and layering it and layering it, learning and
yeah,
learning and learning. And
and
once you
this
get it down, I mean,
evolves.
I could see them being other women hosting them in their backyards and paying. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we do support local businesses, but now we're on to something of supporting mobile local businesses. And there's a lot of mobile businesses out there, and
Yeah.
that's one of Truckin' Happy that's going to be there. She made me my hat and said choose mobile, but I think we're going to have a whole mobile, thing that we're going to put on TikTok.
Yeah.
We're going to videography the whole
I
thing, and
love
it's
it.
gonna be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. We evolve.
It is like I said. I think we're onto something. And like Marley Gibson, my gosh, she was just like, "Go local, go mobile." I'm like, that
Yeah.
is such a cool saying. So
Yeah. So what would you tell somebody, a woman who is, has a good idea, who has working on something, it has to take that
mhm.
next step and that next leap into the unknown, or even your niece and your nephew about, what it is. How do you step into the fear? How do you,
Well, this summer, my niece, she and I, like, she wants to do graphic design. That's one of her plans. And I said, well, I'm making her my intern this summer. I said, why don't you help me do some flyers or, like some Instagram posts. And I'm also learning with her generation, what do you follow? What do I need to be doing? Because I really, I'm such a 1980s kid that when I learn something and then I think I got it, something else pops up. And I'm like, I can't keep up. But the Gen Z group, they are in the loop of everything. And she said that TikTok is where it's at, where you have to do trends and videos, and they really follow videos. So if somebody has an idea, and I've had some people go up to me and tell me their ideas and what they want to do, and they kind of don't know how to start. And I tell them I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing when I started. But I just, I ended up taking some classes in Savannah. There's Savannah business classes you can take where you sit with a group and you talk about your businesses and how you can help each other, but they also teach you how you start up with, for taxes. And it made me learn a lot of how to begin my business.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Reach out, ask questions.
yes, reach out, ask questions. Don't be afraid to just I saw I went to the buy local group and because Philip sometimes I don't have time to get to an event, but I'm really trying to make myself do it. And I met Captain Judy, and what a trip she is. She's hilarious and has quite a story. But then I ran into some other people, and I saw a hospice nurse there and gave her my info because she's a mobile hospice nurse. And I said, well, she knows the families need massages, and along with her patients. And so we shared information. So you never know until you just go up and introduce yourself. You
Yeah,
never know what will happen.
it really is true. You just have to make the effort. I
Just
know.
overcome that fear.
Yeah. So we're coming to a close.
Okay.
Okay, because I feel you've sparked a lot of really interesting golden nuggets that I needed to hear, which was great. Um,
Good.
but I like to end it with you, with our my fucking cool woman friend, who just to say, one last fucking cool woman statement. Like, what do you want the world to know about being a fucking cool woman?
Don't let others stop what you want to do. Don't let negative thoughts overcome your passion. Just think of it as a wall you want to punch through, and don't let anybody stop you. If that's what you really want to do it. Don't wonder, just go through that wall and do it. And you know, that's pretty much what I would say to fucking cool women, want to do what they want to do. And don't, yeah, encourage, don't discourage. Just uplift. Don't be toxic. Don't go to that level. Just be the badass you are. And you're a badass.